Cthulhu Christmas presents H.P. Lovecraft's Polaris, a quick review. Polaris was written during the spring/summer of 1918 and first appeared in the December 1920 edition of The Philosopher, an amateur publication. It did not appear in Weird Tales until December 1937, several months after Lovecraft's death. In a dream, the unnamed hero sees a marvelous city in the land of Lomar, a city under threat by hideous invaders. In a further dream, the hero finds himself to be a citizen of the dream city. Too feeble for military service, kind of like Lovecraft himself, the hero, who has keen eyesight, is given the critical task of manning the watchtower in order to sound the alarm when the enemy appears. And of course, he falls asleep. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a strange room, and, convinced he is caught in a dream, tries desperately to wake up. The villain of the piece is the pole star, Polaris, who winks and blinks at the hero until it puts him to sleep. While the story is generally regarded as part of Lovecraft's famous dream cycle, and H.P. Lovecraft Encyclopedia says this yarn is, quote, like the tomb, a case of psychic possession by a distant ancestor, end of quote. The key is the poem, which puts the hero to sleep. Slumber watcher, till the spheres, 26,000 years, have revolved, and I return to the spot where now I burn. Other stars anon shall rise to the axis of the skies, stars that comfort, stars that bless, with a sweet forgetfulness. Only when my round is o'er shall the past disturb thy door. The poem suggests the dreamer has gone back 26,000 years to the life of a previous ancestor who fell asleep on watch. Indeed, the story opens with the hero calling Polaris, quote, an insane watching eye, which strives to convey some strange message, yet recalls nothing, save that it once had a message to convey, end of quote. The poem also alludes to the position of Polaris in the night sky, but an explanation of that is above my pay grade. Lovecraft himself was a learned amateur astronomer who once wrote, quote, astronomy has always been my favorite science, followed assiduously since I was 12 years old, end of quote. As for my earlier crack about Lovecraft being too feeble for military service, the Wikipedia article on Polaris says, quote, critic William Fulwiller writes that Polaris is one of Lovecraft's most autobiographical stories, reflecting his feelings of guilt, frustration, and uselessness during World War I. Like the narrator, Lovecraft was denied a warrior's part, for he was feeble and given to strange faintings when subjected to stress and hardships, end of quote. I initially suspected this dreamy tale reflected Lovecraft's admiration of the fantasy writer Lord Dunsany, a writer I'm not very familiar with. Not so, according to the Lovecraft Encyclopedia. Quote, HPL himself frequently remarked on the story's apparent stylistic similarity to the work of Lord Dunsany, which HPL would read only a year or so later. But probably the style of the tale was derived from Poe's prose poems, which themselves partially influenced Dunsany's style. In researching this video, I discovered I enjoyed listening to the story more than reading it, so perhaps it is a prose poem. I put links to both the text and to audio recordings of the story in the description, so check them out and let me know what you think. My rating? 3.5 pole stars out of 5. So, dear listeners, please share your thoughts on Polaris in the comments. If you haven't read the story, I put links to it in the description. Let's celebrate Cthulhu Christmas early by reading Lovecraft's stories in chronological order. Our next story will be The Green Meadow, which HPL wrote in collaboration with Winifred V. Jackson in either 1918 or 1919. As always, I put links to both the text of the story and to audio recordings of it in the description. And till midnight, Cthulhu Fatagan! Cthulhu Fatagan!